Oh,
numbers can be a pain. Yeah. And instead we'll do some really complex grammar for Bukash because he's feeling like he wants to do some really complex grammar. Now, actually, so, we're now moving on to something which is a little bit technically challenging, but if we just follow the rules, then it's kind of easy. Now, I think some of you have already been on part of this section already. Let me just start it up, which is just coming up now. Verbs modifying nouns. Now, before we go on with this, actually, who has so far already done this subject? This was a last week subject, really. Only a few of you. Okay, good. So we'll go through this first then, and this will help to lead into today's subject, which is nominalization of nouns. It's inevitable. Inevitable. Okay, so we have this thing of verbs becoming modifiers for nouns, just as the title says. So usually we have a noun in a sentence and we mark it as the object to which we apply a verb. The way we mark it is through particles, as you well know. For example, if we've got some kind of direct interaction with that noun, the noun is tempura in this case. Tempura o tsukurimasu. I will make tempura. When this is the potential form, when you want to say, I can use chopsticks, then we change o to ga. Ohashi ga tsukaemasu. So far, so good. If we are using a noun as a place to mark a destination, to go somewhere, then we mark the destination direction with ni. For example, I will go to the cinema, eigakan ni ikimasu. And then the final one is back to verbs again. And it's really just to remind us that if we have one of these verbs, which is something shimasu, benkyou shimasu, gokaku shimasu, unten shimasu, ryori shimasu, shigoto shimasu, then usually if we just say, I am going to study, we would say, benkyou o shimasu. I will do study. I will do study. Benkyou o shimasu. Or if I'm going to say, I will cook, I will say, ryori o shimasu. I will do cooking. Ryori o shimasu. However, if we've got a kind of subject within that statement, for example, in this case, I will drive the car, not just I will drive. If it was I will drive, then I would say unten o shimasu. But if we want to say specifically I will drive the car, then we mark the thing that we're driving with o instead. And then that o between unten and shimasu jumps into this position here instead. Unten o shimasu. So to say, for example, I will cook sausages, then you would say soseji o ryori shimasu. I will study French, Fransko o benkyou shimasu. Is that okay, everybody? Pretty straightforward, huh? Cool. Okay. However, we can take these verbs and put a verb before a noun to modify it. It almost becomes like an adjective for the noun. And then that pair of verb noun, that compacted pair, we can move around in a sentence and use it however we like. For example, I might say, oishii sushi o tabetai desu. Oishii sushi, delicious sushi, o tabetai desu. I want to eat delicious sushi. So the adjective and noun become a pair. I want to eat this oishii sushi o tabetai desu. Now, where we've got oishii, meaning delicious, we can put a verb in place there instead. Okay. The structure of this is that that modifying verb should be in the plain form, casual dictionary form. Fixed next to or before the noun that we're referring to. And then after this, you can put des, deshita, dewarimasen, tabemasu, tsukurimasu, whatever you want to do. You can just use this as a unit by itself, the verb and the noun. Did any of you guys see Edward Umiyama's posting of the cat eating the fish picture?
Yep.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, wasn't it? Because you can put adjectives and verbs before a noun, and then it becomes a little bit uncertain what you're actually describing. I can't quite, let me so I can quickly remember. It was something like, just to draw an illustration of this. Akai atama sakana o taberu neko. I think something like this, wasn't it? So akai means, sorry, Joel?
That was me. Atama?
Atama, head.
Oh.
So red head fish eating cat. And then the question is, for example, what's red? The cat or the fish? And what else was there in this? There's about 6 different interpretations of meanings from the sentence. So is the cat's, oh, thanks, David. So if you just zoom in on David a second, let's just stop sharing.
Oh, you found it.
Just a second. I'm going to put you up here, David. Spotlight for everybody. So just show the picture first, David. So there's a red-headed cat eating a fish. Atama ga akai. Atama ga akai sakana o taberu neko. So something which has a red head, a fish eating cat. Is it this one? And then if you move up very slightly, David, or is the fish's head red? Or go up a bit more, David. Is it that the cat has a head which is eating a red fish? Or is it a person who's got a cat's head which eats a red fish? Or is it a person with a red cat head eating a fish? So this sentence, atama ga akai sakana o taberu neko, could be all of these. You have to be able to use context and tempo in the sentence to make it clear which one you're talking about. We have the same problem in English. A man eating shark. Is that a man eating a shark, or is it a shark that eats people? Who knows? You have to be able to distinguish this from context. Thanks, David. Okay. Any questions, guys, so far? Nicht? Good. So we'll call this the modifying verb. We'll call it the modifying verb in comparison with the other verbs in the sentence, like the active verb. Now, the tense of this modifying verb also says something about the status of the noun, and we'll see some examples of this basic sentence right now. For example, in fact, let's just do a quick offline example now before we go on to that. The knife I use. Well, use is what? What's the verb use?
No.
Scowl.
Scowl.
Scowl, to use. And then knife is just simply knife. Des. So here we go. Skull, I use. Knife, knife, des, it is. This is the knife I use. Okay. Sagashite iru roboto janai desu. Which means, anybody? These aren't the droids you're looking for.
The droids you're looking for.
Exactly. Okay. Sagashiteru, this is the present tense of sagasu, to search. Roboto is clearly robots. And then janaides means they are not janaides. They are not the droids you're looking for. Sushi ga mo taberaremasen. Desho? The sushi you ate cannot be eaten again. Tabeta sushi, which is the sushi you ate, or the sushi I ate, or the sushi somebody ate. Ga, in the potential form, more, again, taberarimasen, cannot be eaten. Not so difficult, huh? Tsukawanai pen o kashite kudasai. Tsukawanai meaning
Didn't use.
yeah, didn't use or not using rather. It says in the future tense. Not using pen or kashite kudasai means
Lend me.
please lend me. Yes. Please lend me. Okay, guys, really easy examples how to use this.
Just a question, please, Andy.
Sure, go ahead.
Sagashitiru roboto. Shouldn't it be this isn't the droid?
Yeah, so well, I mean, you could say kore wa korera wa
Okay, then
sagashiteru roboto
yes.
janai desu. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Okay, any questions, guys? Cool. Back to the slides. Right, so if I put this in the past tense, this skau from skau knife des, skatta knife des, then the tense of des is still reflected by this is, so this is still in the present. And then the knife I used, so this past tense here is reflected in skatta. Skatta. Okay. Skatteiru knife des. So this is, again, des is in the present. This is the knife I'm using. So I'm reflecting that using, the present continuous, as skatteiru. And then, as I just explained, skau knife des, this is the knife I will use, or this is the knife I'm using on a regular basis. It doesn't really matter. So I think there's a line on this later, which says, if we use again, let's call it the present future tense in Japanese, skau, iku, taberu, then this both means something you'll do in the future or things that you do on a regular basis. Okay. Watashi wa iaido o shimasu. Doesn't mean I will do iaido, it means I do iaido on a regular basis. I don't really want to spend too much time on this. This is just a kind of footnote. You don't have to memorize this, guys. But the tense of des also says something about the status of the noun. So skatta knife des, this is the knife I used. What about if I said skatteru knife deshita? Well, let's just directly translate this. Go ahead, Kim, whoever it was.
This was the knife I used.
Yeah, this was the knife I was using.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is it now? What is this? If it's not a knife that you were using now, then maybe this means that the status of the knife has changed. This was the knife I was using, but now I'm using a different one.
Or maybe it's broken.
Or it's broken, or it's been recycled, or something. Some part of it, some status of it has changed. So basically, deshita can be used to suggest that something doesn't hold the same status as it used to. A really good example of this is illustrated in this pretty picture at the top. So here's a guy with his brand new car. This is the old Schlangerbang that he used to drive. Kore wa, this one, mainichi unten suru kuruma deshita ga, senshu kara, from last week, kore wa mainichi unten suru kuruma desu. So this was the car that I drove every day. Ga, senshu kara, from last week, kore wa mainichi unten suru kuruma desu. This is the car that I drive every day. I've already mentioned this last bit here anyway. Any questions, guys? We will do some exercises to embed this in our brains. Give me just a sec. How many of these is there? 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. 9. Okay. Wayne, you're just listening in today, aren't you? 9.
Yes, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no problem. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm going to give you just one each to work on for yourselves at the beginning, and then we'll do a review and do the last ones all together. So David, this is the pen. Jock, over there is the thief. Wukash, this is the tree. Tom, there is a car. Kim, that is a sword. Kelly, she is a student. Martin, speaking a language. Joel, can the person who ate the cake? Aga, is that the teacher? And that's it, isn't it? Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes just to work through your individual one. David, I should warn you, the first one's a bit of a trap. You might remember this.
It just sprang into my head.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
There you go.
By this tree I fell, you mean I cut it down?
No, no, it's just fallen down itself. So if you imagine, I mean,
Oh, that fell, not that I fell. Okay, I see.
yeah, yeah. That's a good use of English language though, because fell is also an active verb. If you fell a tree, you cut a tree down. Not that you're interested in English. I mean, it's just a kind of thing you have to do, right? Speak English. Yeah.
In the good old days, physics was all in German.
And then before that, in Latin.
Well, there was no physics before that.
Of course, it was. It was natural philosophy. That's physics. Okay, how are you doing, guys? Rock on. Cool. Okay, David, this is the pen I write with every day.
Maybe in the alligator pit. Kore wa mainichi tsukau pen desu.
Good. Kore wa mainichi tsukau pen desu. Okay, so this was a trick because it wasn't really a trick. It was unintentionally tricky. You didn't use kaku, did you, David?
No.
So, right, because if you did that, if you said kore wa mainichi kaku pen desu, then what does this mean? Can you imagine?
It doesn't quite make sense.
Mm.
The
Well,
pen
it means
writes itself.
This is
kind
the
of.
pen that writes every week.
Yeah, or this is the pen that I draw every day, or you use kaku to write before the thing you actually write. So you could say bunsho or uta or haiku or something, but you're not writing the pen, you're using the pen. You use it to write with. Yeah, good. Okay, Jock, over there is the thief that stole the wallet.
あそこに財布を盗んだ泥棒です。
Very good. Musunda Dorobo des. Excellent. Perfect. Any questions, guys? Actually, Jock, if we're finishing with, I don't think this is a massive grammatical error, actually, to say asoko ni.
Should that be there?
Well, no. It's just the way that this bit here. Let me just underline it. Oh, not like that. This bit here and this bit over here connect with each other. So I would probably need to just ask a Japanese person about this, because this is a kind of grammar level that I'm not really sure about. But if this is asoko ni, then I would have thought that over here you would say ga imasu, because that means in that place over there is the thief. But if you wanted to say that is the thief over there, that would be are, or are. That thing over there is the thief, and then we'd finish with des. But I don't think it's a massive grammatical. I don't think it's by any means a massive grammatical error. But it'd be interesting to find out from a Japanese person whether or not that rule is solid. Are wa, that is over there.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it's fine. I mean, I used to run into this problem about thinking, if I've got ni there, then do I use imas, arimas, or des? And des doesn't actually lend itself to a location, does it? You would say something is over there. Yeah. Or that place is a park. Asoko wa koen des. Yeah. But it's not really important at the moment. I'm sure grammatically it's not that sensitive. Okay, Łukasz, this is the tree that fell over 50 years ago.
Can I use ochiru? Oh, I also found taoreru.
Taoreru is better. Yes.
Taoreru.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Łukasz, ochiru is like this. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see.
That's ochiru, and that's taoreru.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. これは50年の前
And so if you've got gojunen, this is a number, you can just say gojunen mae. Oh, sorry, this is duration. You can just say gojunen mae. Yeah.
50年前、倒れた木です。
Yes, good. Exactly. Exactly this, yeah. Gojunen mae ni taoreta ki desu. Very good. Anybody confused? No? All good?
Okay.
So good, so good.
We need because of a time reference.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Tom, there is a car that costs 5 million yen. Sorry, I thought we were going to stop doing numbers, but we didn't.
I hope it's correct. So, 500万 yen?
500万、500万。はい、そうです。
500万円。
Sorry, 500万円。
乗っかった車が。
You say 買った。
No, and then 買った from buy in the past. 車があります。
車があります。Okay, this gets the job done. Let's see. 500. So this literally means
there's a 5 million yen car.
Yeah, there is a
that was bought for 5 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, car that I bought.
But I didn't know the verb for cost, so.
Oh, okay. So
tried to cheat.
Actually, you do know it, Tom, because you've used it before. And when I tell you, you'll go, "Oh yeah," and it's kakaru.
I thought that was take time.
Yep, and also takes cost as well. Use it for time and cost. Yeah.
So kakata.
Yeah, I mean, it still costs it, doesn't it? So this is still current,
Ah,
still present.
ja, dan is Kakaru.
Kakaru,
Kuruma.
yeah.
As soon as you leave the garage, it doesn't cost anymore 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Kim.
Half the price.
500万円. And then Tom, you don't need no here either. You can just say 500万円かかる車があります. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Kim, that is a sword that cuts well.
それは
Good.
よく切る
Yep.
刀です。
Very good. Excellent. Good. And Kelly, she is a student who can paint very beautiful pictures.
とっても美しい絵を描く学生です。
Yes. This. 描く学生です. Very good. Yeah.
ちょっと質問があります。
はい、どうぞ。
I was doubting a little bit between the verb kaku or nuru. Is it the same? Or because I was doubting because you can maybe paint an artwork. Is it the same as like painting the walls? Or...
No, yeah, so I think you're right. Nuru is usually used for things like painting a color over something like a wall or a saya or varnishing. Whereas if you're actually doing a painting, this is kaku. It's a different kanji, I think, to the one to write. Just a second.
I think it's the same.
Is it?
I think, but I'm not sure.
Let's have a good look. Kaku. To write is supposed to pen to draw. So I'm not going to pretend that I knew this was different, that I knew this kanji, but when, of course, this one means to write, but there's one in the dictionary which is this one. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that. This one here.
Yes, I had it on Duolingo last lesson.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, and it was writing. Yes, writing and drawing, and they used those two.
Right. Yeah.
But you always say kaku.
Yes. Yeah. Draw or paint. Yeah. There's another one, isn't there, which is this one, the same kaku as in ega. Kaku.
Didn't you also have nuru as paint?
But this is to mean to paint like paint a wall or paint color over something, isn't it?
You haven't the kanji for it.
Oh no, okay, sure. So nuru is this one, I think.
Yeah.
Wayne,
yeah.
is that one? Yeah. Nuru.
Yeah, that's pin over.
Yeah. So this means to paint as in to coat something, paint a coat of something. Yeah. Cool. That was your question, wasn't it, Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that if I decide to go nuts and do some other colors on the walls next week, I know what to use when I talk to my husband.
Yes. Although if you paint the walls with a mural of Hello Kitty, for example, then I don't know if this is kaku or nuru.
No, I'm not that creative.
Cool. Okay, let's go on to Martin. Speak in a language that you understand, you idiot. Okay, so let's go through this slowly. So let's do some grammar first, though, Martin. So a language is, did you find this word?
Jisho gave me kotoba.
Oh, kotoba. Words, right, okay. Yeah, you can use
yeah, kotoba.
Kotoba, yeah. It's a bit like kotoriba. Kotoba. These mean words. The actual word for language is, somebody know it?
Gengo.
Gengo, very good.
Ah.
Gengo. Hi, Judy.
Hi. Happy solstice.
Happy solstice. Yeah. Start planning your summer holidays at home.
Yeah.
I'm off for a walk in the... Go, you're distracting us.
Mind the bears. Mind the bears. Don't distract the bears.
Hanashite.
Yeah. So can you say the sentence again, Martin?
Hanashite gengo.
So not hanashite, but a language you understand. So this is the modifying.
So I've got the sentence
verb here,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's okay. So hanashite is actually the last is the last part of this, which is speak as a command. Hanashite.
I had it the wrong way around. Wakate.
Yeah, but this can just be in the plain form, can't it? Just
Wakaru.
wakaru. Yeah, wakaru.
Gengo.
Yep. And then now the trick is now which particle to use to indicate.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
If you said ni, you'd be understood. You'd be understood. Can anybody guess does anybody know what the correct particle is though?
I think O.
I'm afraid it's not.
Yeah,
Nice try. There. It's there. It's there. In the way of, by the way of, yeah. Wakaru gengo de hanashite. So this is good. Well done. Okay.
So the word that you don't have to translate in this sentence.
Correct. Yeah. Don't throw English garbage words into Japanese. You don't need it. Yeah.
Would ga also work because it's something you can speak? Because it's an ability, or doesn't it work?
In place of
Gengo ga.
No. Because this isn't saying that you can speak, it's saying do speak. It's a command saying speak in the language that you understand. So where you might be getting lost in there, Tom, is in this part here, gengo ga wakaru. So here we'd have ga to mark the thing that you understand. But we're not actually having this configuration of sentence anywhere in the sentence. We're putting the verb only before the noun, so there isn't room for a particle. Yeah.
I thought because it was an ability, that's why.
It is, but wakaru is already marked as an ability. So let's do a different one, for example. Please use a knife that can cut through bone. So this actually works quite well. So actually, who can do this? Except Jock. Anybody except Jock? Because I'm sure Jock can do this while he's asleep. Anybody else?
Except the part of through bone.
So this would just be something that can cut bone. If we say through bone, this is the same as saying can cut bone. We don't need to use. We don't need to put through in there. That's English garbage language.
Kirareta hone?
Not kirareta.
Kiru.
Kireru.
Okay, let's. This is a bit.
Cut.
Kireru.
Kireru.
What's the next word?
Bone.
Bone.
Which is hone. But this now means bone that can cut.
No.
Not a knife that can cut bone. But you're on the right lines.
Hone o kireru.
Right. Now we've got ga. Now we need ga. Not o, but ga.
Ga.
Because it's
Kireru.
Kireru. Ah, yes, because it is a
Naifu.
potential. Naifu.
Naifu.
Or
Oh.
Tsukate kudasai.
Exactly this. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Now we can put ga in here to mark the thing that can be cut with a knife. Yeah. Is that reasonably easy to understand?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good.
It's particles.
Yeah. Okay. Joel, can the person who ate the cake please stand up?
ケーキを食べた人が
を食べた人が、sorry,
立てますか？
食べた人が、
立てますか？
立てますか? This means can they stand up? Oh, sorry, this should be a request. This is a request, sorry.
立てませんか？
立てます. Not 立てません, that means build, but to stand up isn't 立てる, it's...
Sorry,
one more time.
立てる, so should be.
This is the wrong verb though. Tateru means for you to build something else. This is a transitive verb, but stand up is intransitive. So it's not tateru, but
Do some touchy waza.
Exactly.
Tatsu.
Tatsu. Tatsu desu. So.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking about the can part. So I was like, I was using the potential. For,
potential, yeah. But this is just a request. Yeah.
So tatte kudasai.
Yeah, exactly. Tatte kudasai. Exactly this. Good. And then Aga, is that the teacher who is teaching at Waseda?
あれは早稲田で教えている先生ですか?
Yes, perfect. Exactly. Good. Well done. Okay, let's do these last together these last ones together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Aga, can you do this one? Is this the chair that John was sitting in?
これははい。ジョンが座っていたに椅子ですか?
椅子ですか? Perfect. This is it. Exactly.
So without all right, there's no okay.
Yeah, there's no location, is there? It's just saying is it the seat that John sat in was sitting in. Good, perfect. Joel.
So the ita is because it is was sitting, because I was thinking of iru, but then it was is sitting.
Right. Yeah. So this has to be suatita. Yeah. Joel, please wash the used plates.
使った皿
Yep.
洗ってください。洗ってください。
Good. Yes. Good. And Martin, I took the dead cat to my neighbour's house because this is the kind of thing that people do in Canada, right? Happy birthday! It's a dead cat.
Well, we've got to eat something. Oh my God. The only word I know in there is nickel.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's a good start. Nicole. Neighbour's house. Who knows this?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, is good. So kinjo means in the neighbourhood. Kinjo. So you could use kinjo-ni. Just kinjo-ni. This means your neighbour. For now.
Yeah, no kinjo-ni.
Rinjin. Rinjin?
Rinjin, desu ka?
I think so.
Is it? Let's have a look. Sounds like a vegetable. Rinjin. Oh yeah, rinjin. Yep, we'll use that then. Rinjin-ni. Yep. Go ahead, Martin.
Shitai, I've got for body.
Okay, so this is you're gonna end up with not a modifying verb there. You can just say neko no shitai, and then you don't use it. You don't then use a modifying verb. But what the modifying verb I'd like you to use is this one, dead. So what's the verb to die? That's 2 words, by the way. I'm not saying today in a posh voice. Shinu. One more time. Shinu. Shinu. So if it's a dead cat, then it would be.
How do you conjugate shinu?
So what would be? Let's see. Think of it. There aren't that many verbs which actually finish with nu, but it works the same way as.
Oh, it'll be shinde, won't it?
Shinde, yeah. But in the past tense, this would be.
Shinda.
Shinda. Good.
Shinda neko.
Yep. I took it.
To take.
To carry something is.
Oh, carry. Is it carry or it's carry? Oh God, I should know that.
Take
one.
something along is. It's a bit like a compound verb.
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Sure.
I'm with you. Because there's a soji shimasu.
Soji, that's cleaning. Let me help.
Yeah, please do.
Actually, no, I won't help. Who else can help? Somebody help Martin here. So.
Oh no, okay.
Okay, so we've got
mote. Yeah.
Yeah, so that means to take along. Guys, what's to bring?
Motekita.
Motekuru.
Motekuru, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said, Lukash, if you say please bring, then this would be motekite something you would say. Good. Rinji ni shinda neko o.
Mote.
Yep.
Imashita.
One more time.
Imashita.
Not imashita, but this is mote iku. Mote iku. So this would become in the past tense.
Ikimashita.
Yeah, okay, exactly this. Mote ikimashita.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, exactly this.
Huh.
Don't be surprised that Japanese is so straightforward. Make the most of it while you're not in the Tasogare class where we're splitting quantum particles with Japanese language. Kelly. Oh, this one. Look towards the enemy who is coming to cut you.
Look towards the horizon that you should be running at.
Kiruteki?
Okay.
I don't know. Where to start?
Okay, let me help. So, question is, kiruteki. What does this mean? Is this the enemy that I cut, or is it the enemy who cuts?
I was taking the second one.
To be honest, depends on the rest of the sentence, making it clear that you're saying the enemy who is cutting, not me. I am not the enemy who is being cut, for example. And we can do that by saying coming to cut.
With using iru?
Not there is an iru being used, yeah, but not with kiru. So we've got let's got a mishmash of verbs here. We've got come and cut. Kuru, right? So we've got kuru somewhere. We've got kiru somewhere, of course. And then, unfortunately, we've also got iru as well, as you said, because it's the present continuous. So we've got to now just arrange these to make some sense.
So first coming and then cutting and then enemy.
Can you say that again?
First coming, then cutting, then enemy. No?
In one way, yes.
Oh.
In another way, no. Let's do the easy way first, the way that it should be instinctive. There's a sentence that all of you should know by now. The sentence is, let's go and eat sushi. Oh, sorry, let's go to eat sushi. Which is what?
Sushi ni tabemashou.
Not enough. Let's go to eat sushi, not just let's eat sushi.
Tabe ni
Yes, good. Sushi o tabe ni kimashou. Good.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now this format of sentence is being repeated here. Who is coming to cut you? So let's just isolate that part of the sentence. Come to cut. Similar to go to eat. Go to eat was tabe ni iku. So come to cut would be
Kuru ni iku.
come to go or go to come.
Oh my god. Iku ni kuru.
That just means
I know, I'm using my mind.
okay, slowly. Right, so you can see what I've done with tabe here is basically the mass form of the verb, with the mass removed, and then ni iku to say whether you're going or coming. So come to cut, we need to make the mass form of
Kuru?
not kuru, but kiru. Kiru, which would be
Kiri.
Kiri. Now, following this pattern, we then have ni, and then come would be what's the verb plain form to come?
Kirimasu.
No, kirimasu is the cut. Kimasu in the plain form.
Kimasu.
Yeah, that's the polite form. What's the dictionary form?
Kuru.
Kuru. There we have it. Right, there's our modifying verb, kiri ni kuru. Now, as this is saying coming to cut, it's clear that this is talking about the teki and not you cutting the teki, because that would be kiri ni iku. Kiri ni iku. But kiri ni kuru means somebody's coming to cut. So now we have the modifying verb. Right, so let's put this in here. Kiri ni kuru. And then what's the noun?
Teki.
Teki. Look towards or look at.
Miru?
Yep.
Or,
Miru.
Use maini miru? No.
No, this is the direction you're looking at. This kiri ni kuru teki, that's what you're looking at. So we don't need any other direction. We just need to say look as a command or request.
Mite.
Mite.
Kudasai.
Mite kudasai. Okay. Question now is, final question. What is the particle?
Ni.
Ni. Perfect. It's a direction to look towards, so it must be ni. Everybody okay? Cool. Last one.
That's it.
That's all.
It may be useful. About 2 weeks ago, you explained iku and kuru and how to use it with 2 circles when you go away, and I found that in these cases it's very easy to make the choice between kuru and iku.
Right, good point.
The drawing skills loud.
Yeah, guys, you might want to go and watch the YouTube video instead of watching me trying to do this. But I'll have a quick go. Tom, you might need to remind me as we do this. What is what? Just a second.
It helps me a lot when I have to choose between the two. Am I staying in the place or am I going out of the place?
Right. So this was the place you're in. God, I can't remember all of it actually. If you're leaving this place that you're in, then this is going. Iku. It sounds obvious, doesn't it? And if somebody is coming to the place you're in, then of course this is kuru. I drawing up writing skills have really improved. Now, do you want to come to the cinema with me? Do you want to come to the cinema with me? Kuru o iku? What do you think of this?
That
Iku.
depends where you are.
Yeah, but what does this suggest? This in English, for example, do you want to come to the cinema with me?
You're not in a cinema.
Right, right. You're not yet there. Yeah. So basically, you're saying this to somebody else. This is person B, not you. You are going to go to the cinema, and you're saying, do you also want to go to the cinema? Yeah. Do you want to come to a party with me? Kuru or iku?
Iku.
Iku.
Same.
Do you want to come to my party?
Kuru.
It depends, I think.
Depends on where it is.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Although to my party makes a suggestion now that you're there. It doesn't really matter in the end. You can say iku or kuru in this case. What time will you come? Kuru or iku?
We're still talking about the party.
I don't know. I just said, what time will you come to me? To me.
Kuru.
Kuru. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's meet here tomorrow. That was the difficult one.
Okay, let's meet here tomorrow. Yes. Right. So this is the question. Let's meet here. Oh, let's come and meet here tomorrow. Let's come and meet here tomorrow. Is this ai ni kuru or ai ni iku?
Kuru?
Kuru. Why is that? Why is that, Joel?
Because you're there.
Because you're already there. Right.
You're already there.
Right.
Even though you won't be tomorrow, but right now you are.
Exactly. So this is kuru. Yeah, exactly this. Yeah, it suggests moving away from the space that you are in right now. The speaker, not the person that you're talking to. It's the space that you're in right now, which is important. It's good. Yeah.
Jock Sensei has a question, I think.
Go ahead, Jock.
Not a question, it was just an observation that iku and kuru is a little bit like take and bring.
Right. Yeah, let's put this in as well.
You
then.
take away from you and you bring to
Yeah.
you.
Exactly. So, yeah. So to take away, we combine motte and iku to carry something away, but to bring something to you, then to bring it rather than take it, to bring something, we combine motte and kuru. Motte ikimasu, motte ikimasu. Yeah. And again, this rule as to whether this is iku or kuru is exactly the same. Are you, as the speaker, are you bringing or taking to the place you're in now? Yes. If any of you want to employ me as an artist, by the way, my rates are quite high.
Tuppence a day.
It's worth it.
Maybe for Kelly's walls.
Yeah, do you want me to come and do them, Kelly?
I can always ask my toddlers in school as well.
Be Banksy's new artwork.
But it is quite nice.
Thank you. I don't believe you, but thank you anyway. And then last one is Kim. Move closer to the people who cannot hear you.
Well, I was thinking of kikoenai hito.
Good.
Ni.
Yep.
And then I'm not sure about move closer.
So we have got this word approach.
Approach.
Yeah. So just make this clear, just make this easy, just in case you didn't know this word approach. It's a kind of individual verb. You could just make a couple of things together. You can actually say move closer, literally, or go closer. Go closer. What's the adjective for close?
No idea.
Joel, I can hear you saying it. I can see you saying
Chikai.
it. Chikai.
Chikai.
Yeah. And now we need to turn this into an adverb, don't we? Because it's an adjective going with the verb. It must be an adverb.
Chikaku.
So chikaku. And then go.
Chikaku. Iku.
Iku. You could use this. Chikaku ite.
Chikaku ite. Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
like a command.
Yeah, you could use this. This is this would be perfectly understood.
Chikaku
Ite kudasai. Ne?
ite kudasai. Hai.
Yeah.
Hai.
There is a kind of it is a compound verb. No, it's not a compound verb. It's a adjective verb compound to make this word approach, which is it's made from chikai. Why am I explaining it? Does anybody know this?
Chikazuku.
Chikazuku. Very good. Chikazuku. Chikazuku, which comes from chikai and tsuku, to stick, to apply. Chikazuku. So
that is chikatsu kimasu.
So this is actually a verb. Sorry, chikazukimasu. You're correct. This becomes chikazukimasu in the polite form, chikazukimasu, and then turning it into request, Kim.
Chikazu. Chikazuite.
Perfect. Chikazuite. Exactly this. Good. Well done. Very good. Well done. Okay. Excellent. We did them all. Well done, guys. Okay. Before we move on to today's class, then let's have a couple of minutes break. Guys, let me ask you something. Can you unmute yourselves a second? This is not regarding Japanese at all, actually. Who uses Zoom or this kind of what's it called, teleconferencing outside of these classes? Tom and Kim only, and Joel and Jock. Do you use them more outside of these classes, or about the same or less? Do you spend more time?
Yeah, it's less.
Less.
Weekly.
Weekly. So weekly, Tom, do you mean?
Every Saturday.
Oh, okay, right.
So weekly.
Sunday.
Right. Kim, you say daily?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, right. Joe?
Use WhatsApp daily.
Right, right. When you use WhatsApp, do you use this for work or just for chatting to people?
No, just to contact family.
Oh, okay, right. Who finds these classes tiring? I'm not trying to denigrate myself. Who gets to the end of the Japanese corner sessions and sort of walks away and goes, "Shit, I'm fucked," like this? Lukash.
Because the Japanese is that difficult.
Yeah, is it the Japanese or the Zoom?
No, I always feel like I still cannot transfer normal verb into this Teflon, and we're doing all that stuff which is absolutely somewhere in a space.
Right.
But it's just me. It's nothing to do with your lessons.
Oh, okay.
Hard work sitting still for 2 hours.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be one of the. I was listening to a podcast today, a science podcast, and they were talking about two types of what's called Zoom fatigue. One is literally the long-term effect of using Zoom, which is you spend a lot of time sitting down, sometimes crouched forwards. But there was also the short-term fatigue, which is about teleconferencing is actually quite stressful if you do it for a long time during work. And it wasn't just the fact that you're sitting or the fact that you're concentrating, it was a couple of other psychological issues, which is, for example, if I, let's just highlight who's the most handsome here, Kim. Let's highlight Kim a second. Spotlight. So if you're now looking at Kim's face like this, if you're actually talking to Kim in real life, for him to be this big on your screen, you'd have to be like sitting maybe 40 centimeters, not much more, from Kim's face. Now, in real life, how often do you have a kind of work meeting where you're talking this close to somebody? You generally don't do it, and if you are doing it, it creates, unless you're kind of close to somebody, in which case you can let your guard down. It's actually quite intrusive and quite stressful to do that. And the other thing which they tested to see whether or not it was tiring is the fact that you are looking at yourself and constantly checking your position in your screen, making sure your hair's straight, making sure you don't look funny or you're sitting strange. And this self-checking, exactly, make sure your makeup's good. This self-checking is also apparently exhausting.
Andy.
Yeah.
As part of my degree's first year, I actually did a paper on this.
Ah.
Did you know there's actually a small butter zone around about 1.2 seconds of delay?
Right. Yes. This was talked about as well. Yeah.
You know, when you're talking and you get the usual, yeah, okay, back and forth acknowledgements. That's the small zone where it's completely eliminated because someone else will start talking.
Yeah.
And it will interrupt people and they kind of stop, start, and the human brain's not used to it.
Yeah, this
so
is
exactly
kind of sit
there permanently on edge.
Yeah, this was talked about as well. Yeah.
Saw this,
Sorry.
Saw this,
Saw this. Yeah, and you end up talking over each other because you're missing the cues, the timing cues you usually have to say this person's reaching the end of their sentence. And yeah, fascinating stuff. But one of the things they said to resolve this, one of the things you can do is turn off your camera. I mean, I find it quite, for me, I find it quite nice to be able to see you all when we're doing this. But if you find it fatiguing, then you can at least remove the self-checking element of the class. And this
I normally have everyone on gallery view anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
By the way, who's AV2?
That's
and very often we are looking at the white page with your
there is an option in Zoom that you can hide hide self view.
Right.
So you cannot see yourself, but you can see other people. So at least that part of constantly checking on yourself is gone.
Personally, I'd be more stressed about how I look if I didn't have the camera switched on.
Generally, Zoom is okay. It's the verb conjugation that's tiring.
Shut up! Stop moaning.
Yes. No, I don't have the idea that this is tiring because of this Zoom. It is tiring because of the subjects.
Right. Okay. If it's that's good.
But on the other hand, But on the other hand, it is like an active lesson. I think you're not listening for an hour to an explanation of somebody who's just having a monologue. It's constantly an interactive class, so
makes it a bit easier to concentrate, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the fact that there are several exercises and you are encouraged to do also other people's exercises makes your brain more active, and for me at least, it doesn't tire me as much.
Yeah, I suppose
do something myself and then listen to everybody else. So
yeah, and I suppose it's quite rare that we have this format when we're just looking at each other. Usually looking at slides or looking at sheet, aren't we? Yeah, interesting stuff. Anyway, we better leave that now and go on to today's lesson. Hooray! Cheer up, Łukasz.
I'm just feeling kind of weird seeing Wayne constantly making photos of us.
Okay, let's go on to today then. Right. So let's just summarize where we are. So we've done these modifying, sorry, this is just a standard sentence structure here with a noun followed by a verb. And then we've got this modifying verbs, which we've just done. Modifying verb, noun, verb, or des, arimas, something like this. And then we're going to go to verbs, which become nouns. And then we can have another verb to describe, or a state to talk about this verb that's now become a noun. This is called nominalization. Now, the two basic ways we do this is using no and koto. If you can, in some instances, you can use either. And if you mix up the rules for when to use these, it's not a big problem. But there are some rules, some regulations, and all we're going to do is just spend a little bit of time understanding them, write them down. We'll do a bit of practice. And then we'll try and create some rules for ourselves for memorizing these rules about when to use no and when to use koto. I can't really talk too much about the grammar behind this because it's just a set of rules that we just have to learn and absorb. Alles gut? Alles klar? Cool. Yeah, it's quite a long and complex set of applications and rules. It doesn't matter if you can't remember them all. Let's at least learn the structure of the sentence, and then we'll master the rest of it through practice. So part 1 of 900. This is slide 1 of 900 that we're going to cover today. Ready? So nominalizing turns a verb into an object or a subject in a sentence. And actually, we've already done some of this with koto. We've already much further back in the earlier lessons. We did this. We did, for example, namasakana o taberu koto ga dekimasu. So this means, Tom?
Had the experience of eating raw fish.
No, not this one. It's the other one.
This is ga arimasu ka.
Yeah. This is.
But it's raw fish eating.
Yeah. Taberu koto ga dekimasu.
Dekimasu is can or completed. I can eat raw fish.
Right. So this is the long form for talking about ability and potential. So usually, if you want to say I can eat raw fish, we'd use the short form, wouldn't we? Which is Łukasz? Short form.
Namasakana o taberu tabetai?
That means I want to. It's the same as the passive form.
Like eru, something like Google.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Tabe. Who can help? Anybody?
Rareru.
Taberareru. Yes, taberaremas. Yeah. And in this case, we need to mark namasakana not with or, but with
Ga.
Right. Ga. Namasakana ga taberaremasu. But this is the long way of doing it. And you can say this in conversation. It's not a sin or anything, but it sounds a bit weird to make a long sentence like this when you can just say namasakana ga taberaremasu. And this form here, Hawaii ni itta koto ga arimasu ka, which means clock.
Sorry, did you say jock?
Yeah.
Oh, so, I'm sorry.
That's good. No problem. It's all right. Hawaii ni itta koto ga arimasu ka?
Hawaii ni ikarimashita. Ka.
No. Just what does this mean? Hawaii ni itta koto ga arimasu ka?
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever been to Hawaii? Have you the experience of going to Hawaii? So both of these cases, we've used koto here to mark namasakana or taberu, this whole thing is kind of verb, to say, can you do this? Can you do the eating of raw fish? So it's turning taberu, to eat, into eating. Can you do the eating? Here, with the experience one, it's taken itta, I went, into, it's normalizing it, turning into a noun. The going to. Have you the going to Hawaii? Sounds stupid in English, of course, but this is what you literally say in Japanese. So we're already nominalizing taberu and iku. Any questions, guys, so far?
As that's in the past tense, that's have you ever been to Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that you can modify that and do like iteiru as like, are you currently going to Hawaii?
No, that would be Hawaii ni ittemasu ka.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this a little bit like in English when we say, if you want to say, have you ever been? Again, we use the have, the possessive, have you, avare, to mean, do you have the experience? And this is exactly the same in Japanese. Do you have the going to Hawaii? Do you have the eating of a scorpion? Something like this. Yeah. Any questions so far? Cool.
Not so far.
Not so far. Okay. Okay. So here's the first rule. ignore this sentence for a second. I'll explain what it means. I've got a verb. For example, my verb is flushing toilets. And I want to explain that flushing toilets is my hobby. Now, flushing the toilet is a verb. I want to turn this into noun. And then I want to say this noun, flushing toilets, is another noun. And that noun is my hobby. Noun A is flushing toilets. Noun B is my hobby. Noun equals noun. That's what I want my sentence structure to be. A equals B. Okay, guys? Both of these, A equals B. A is a noun, B is a noun. In this case, A is flushing toilets, B is my hobby. All right? You don't need to memorize this yet. You just need to understand what I'm saying. Okay. In this case, we only use koto. We don't use no. So, for example, my hobby is climbing mountains would be David. You're muted. That's stressful as well, isn't it?
You have no idea. Shumi wa climb is noboru, isn't it?
Good. Yep.
Shumi wa yama o noboru.
And?
Koto desu.
Yeah, exactly. Koto desu. Let's just put this on the screen a second. Jock, I'm going to come off the screen just for a second. We'll come back to it in a sec. Let's go to new share. There we go. Clear all drawings. Right, let's just write this in. My hobby is climbing mountains. It's the thing here, guys. What I want you to really understand is kind of the mathematics of this sentence. A equals B. Those of you who are more mathematically gifted than me, if A equals B, does B equals A?
It depends.
Yep.
Oh God, don't speak to a physicist. My hobby is climbing mountains is, as far as I'm concerned, is the same as climbing mountains is my hobby. I think this is commutable, right? Is that the right word? Commutable? These two sentences mean the same thing. My hobby is climbing mountains, and climbing mountains is my hobby. We can do the same thing in Japanese. Watashi no shumi wa yama o noboru koto desu. And yama o noboru koto wa watashi no shumi desu. Both of these are fine. They mean the same thing. A equals B. B equals A. All good, everybody? Cool. Good. All right, let's go back. To there. Watashi no shumi wa yama o noboru koto desu. In this case, we can only use koto if we're doing noun equals noun. Okay, this is the rule that you need to now write down. Noun equals noun means koto. Cool. To dobrze, Łukasz?
I'm still trying to understand this nominal using a verb. It doesn't mean that you actually turn verb into kind of noun or something. It doesn't mean this, right?
Well, that's exactly what it means.
Well, climbing mountains is still a verb.
No, mountain climbing is a noun. It's a nominalized verb.
I think it's easy to understand if you understand the kanji, because koto is action.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's the action of climbing mountains, and that is the verb.
Yeah.
This is okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So, I mean, for example, let's just take a different. Let me just sort of challenge what you just said, Łukasz. Not that I'm fighting against you, but we've got a verb. It is difficult to become a pilot. It is difficult to become a pilot. To become a pilot is a verb. And you're saying it is difficult to do this. But you could say becoming a pilot is difficult. This is nominalized, that verb. This is now basically a noun. It's a nominalized verb. You've got the word becoming. This is a substance now. It's not a verb, it's a substance. It's a nominalized verb.
Yeah, if I add this what Joel said, you know, an action of becoming a pilot.
Yeah.
This is much more easy to understand because action is something that you actually point to.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How about this one then? Let's go down to Aga. My dream is to become a pilot. Mm-hmm.
pilotに、なることです。
Perfect. Let's see. 私の夢はパイロットになることです。Exactly this. Good.
Become a pirate.
Somebody asked last week, what's the difference in Japanese between a pilot and a pirate? And I said a pirate has got a parrot on the shoulder and a pilot doesn't have a parrot. So you need to make sure you know the difference between pilot, pirate, and parrot, and then it's fine. Okay? Any questions? Okay, so this is how we nominalize with koto when we have two nouns together. Nominalizing with no. The construction is simply verb in the plain form plus no, then wa or ga, and then adjective des. Now this is describing a verb, a nominalized verb. For example, Łukasz, I said becoming a pilot is difficult. This is that kind of sentence. It's no longer becoming a pilot is my dream. It's now describing what becoming a pilot is. Okay, so now we've got noun equals adjective, not noun equals noun. Okay, noun equals adjective. Everybody okay? Everybody still with me? This look of horror on your Facebook, Ash. Are you okay? Up top wa noun equals noun des, bottom wa noun equals adjective des. Okay?
Aye.
いいですか? So this is just saying the doing of something, the verb in the plain form, nominalized, is an adjective, is fun. So yeah, okay. So flushing toilets is fun.
So no koto.
No, there is no koto. There is only no.
Okay.
There is only no.
No.
Yeah. So this is where no replaces koto. Now we can use koto here in place of no, but that's more like written Japanese. If we're speaking, we should use no. So it's not a mistake to use koto when we're saying becoming a pilot is difficult, but we should use no in conversation. Writing wa koto desu. Speaking wa no desu. 大丈夫ですか? Is that okay? Yeah.
Is what?
Is it okay?
Yeah.
For example, I might say, and I would be lying if I said this, サッカーは面白いです. Soccer, football is interesting or enjoyable. Not actually true, but what do I mean? When I say soccer is interesting, do I mean playing football or watching football or downloading photographs of naked footballers.
None of this.
None of these are interesting, right? Right. In fact, downloading photographs of naked footballers is probably the most interesting part.
Not for us.
So if I want to say that playing football, doing football is interesting or fun, then I would say sakka o suru no wa omoshiroi desu. Okay. If I was writing this down as a sentence, though, in an email, I would say sakka o suru koto wa omoshiroi desu. Use koto for written Japanese, no for spoken Japanese. What's up, Lucas?
Cannot use just, so you cannot use koto in a speaking.
You can.
Okay.
You can. It just makes it very formal. It's not a mistake to use it. You can use
Good.
no or koto in this place. It's just usual to use no for spoken and koto for written. Yeah. Maybe I want to say watching football is interesting. Also a lie. Sakka o miru no wa omoshiroi desu.
That's definitely not true.
Yeah, true, true. That's what you just said, Martin, is true about that not being true. Okay, now, whether we use here, whether it's use wa or ga, unfortunately, that depends on this adjective. Okay. And here is the guidance. You'll need to write this down if you don't already have it written down. If this adjective is tanoshi, enjoyable, omoshiroi, fun or interesting, muzukashi, difficult, yasashi, easy or friendly, hazukashi, shameful, kimochi ga ii, feels good, taihen, difficult, kantan, simple, then use wa. I'm going to give you a minute to write these down.
Why that particular set?
Sorry, Martin?
What is it about those adjectives that make you use wa?
Right. Okay, we'll get to that one after we've done the gud, because there is a kind of mnemonic for remembering what's specific about this set. I'll come to it in just a sec. If for adjectives that use ga, then we would use these ones. Ski, likable, kirai, hateable, jozu, skillful, heta, clumsy, hayai, fast, osoi, slow. Once you guys have finished notes, finish writing notes, I'd like you to indicate your completeness by demonstrating the spree-killing antelope. Okay, nice job. See, the problem is with these kind of sentences, spree-killing antelope, does this mean I want you to spree-kill antelope or antelope who is spree-killing? Don't know. Okay, so this is quite complex already. But first thing is, let's make sure that these rules about these two sets are not mixed up. If we've got noun equals noun, we must use koto. If we've got noun equals adjective, we can use no or koto. No is spoken, koto is written. Is that okay, everybody? And now, how to, oh yeah, this will be the summary. So To be honest, so Martin, to answer your question, what is it about this set which makes these wa and what makes these ga? The answer is I don't know. But if I look through all of these, there is a kind of quality which might help you to either remember the rule or decide for adjectives that aren't in either of these boxes, which to use. The wa ones, these ones up here in yellow, seem to be the ones which are subjective experiences of that adjective. So tanoshi, enjoyable, omoshiroi, interesting, muzukashi, difficult, yasashi, easy or friendly, hazukashi, shameful, kimochi ga ii, pleasant feeling, taihan, difficult, kantan, simple. All feel like subjective experiences. These ones down here, by virtue of the fact that some of them are na adjectives, suggest they are objective observations rather than subjective experiences. So when you say sushi ga suki desu, sushi ga suki desu, what you're actually saying is sushi is likable. You're not saying I like sushi. You're saying sushi is likable. Sushi ga kirai desu means sushi is detestable, is hateable. This is a feature of na adjectives, is that na adjectives themselves are kind of nouns. They're on this kind of borderline. So you're actually saying sushi equals likability or sushi equals hateability. So it's kind of an objective observation. Jozu, skillful. This isn't something you can subjectively feel about something. This is something that you are or not, or you observe in others. Heta, clumsy, is also not a subjective experience. Being skillful can feel good, but as a quality, is something that you observe in others. Hayai, fast, osoi, slow, are of course physical qualities. So this is definitely an objective observation rather than a subjective experience of it. This is the only guidance I can really give you to say this might be the best way to divide these up. Yeah, is that okay? Yellow is fluffy and feeling, and blue is cold and objective. I'm sure that me making these kind of jokes will actually help you to remember these. Trust me. Right, let's just summarize then. Right, if we've got noun equals nominalized verb, which is also a noun, use koto. If it's a verb, nominalized and an adjective, then use no, but we can use koto if we're writing, and then use wa and ga. Wa seem to be subjective experiences, ga seem to be objective observations. Any questions, guys? When do we finish? When does Japanese get easier? Okay, let's do some practice. 8:30. Wow, we've got only 29 minutes to finish off these exercises then. Let's see how we do.
Well, it was till 20:30, no? It was only 1.5 hours according to
yeah.
Facebook event.
Have you seen the film Commando, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
I think so, yes.
There's a bit where he's holding a man off a cliff by his legs and he says, "Do you remember last time I said I'd kill you last?" And then he drops him and he says, "I lied."
So you lied.
Yes. Remember when I said it would only take 1.5 hours? I lied. Okay.
How come you remember all these old movies?
It's really silly, isn't it? I mean, I can't remember where I left my car keys, but I can remember the lyrics to Rick Astley songs and that kind of stupid stuff. Right. I think we can get through these in 20 minutes, to be honest. I think we can. I think it's easy. Right, let's get started. Let's start with David at the top. I like watching TV every Saturday with my daughter. Firstly, who's my daughter?
Every week, Maishu no Doyobi.
Good. Doyobi.
Musume to issho ni
watching TV, David.
And I'm just trying to figure out the end bit.
Okay, so we've now said we go on.
or
Terebi or
miru no ga suki desu.
miru no ga suki desu. Very good. Let's just make sure everything's good. So this is a noun. Sorry, this is a verb equals a adjective, or nominalized verb equals an adjective. So we can use no or koto, but as we're speaking, we'll use no, which you did. And then this is a suki desu is likable. This is a objective observation. So this is ga. Very good. Perfect. Well done. Jock.
Just flipping everything around in a sentence.
Jock. Jenny's hobby is collecting stamps.
Oh dear. Jenny no shumi ga kite o atsumaru koto.
It's that's the
Atsumeru koto.
Atsumeru koto, yeah. Atsumeru koto.
Ga koto ga suki desu.
No. It just is.
No?
Noun
Oh,
equals noun.
desu.
Yeah, exactly. Jenny no shumi wa, or Jenny no shumi ga kite o atsumeru koto desu. So here we've got a noun, Jenny no shumi, and a nominalized verb or a noun, atsumeru koto. So we need to use koto. Exactly. Wukash. Driving to work in the mornings is not enjoyable. Unless you're blind.
Asa no.
Asa ni ne.
Asa ni.
Mhm.
In the mornings, yes. Asa ni. Shigoto ni. Unten suru?
Good.
It's not. Tanoshi is for enjoyment, right?
Tak.
So we should use wa.
But what do we need after suru?
Try it on.
What's the subject of today's lesson?
Nominalizing a verb.
Very good. So we need
either
nominalizer.
koto or something like this. We need
koto,
definitely. Koto not, but koto for written, but you should know. Tanoshi. Tanoshikunai desu.
Tanoshikunai desu. Tanoshikunai desu. What did you put before, after, sorry, after no? Did you say wa?
Tanoshi is supposed to be wa.
Correct.
According to your yellow something.
Dokładnie tak. Exactly. Yes, good. 朝に仕事に運転するのは楽しくないです。Perfect. Well done. Tom, my target is to pass my geography exam this winter.
Kono fuju.
Fuyu.
Kono fuyu.
Kono fuyu.
Watashi no chiri no shiken?
Sorry, watashi
no chiri?
Chiri.
Geography. Chiri, no?
That means my geography, though.
My chiri no shiken?
With watashi or without watashi?
My geography or watashi no?
It's not your geography, though.
It's my bad English. My geography exam is mine. No?
9. What is yours is target.
That's my geography. So just chiri no shiken then?
Yep. Chiri no shiken.
My target, I have no idea.
Okay, so this is
just to accomplish the verb.
Mokyo. Yes, good. Mokyo.
Chicken. Hashtag. Watashi no mokyo.
Leave the hard bits till after. Watashi no mokyo.
My target is to pass it. My target is to pass my exam this winter. koto desu.
No. Okay, I'm taking the stabilizers off your bike, Tom.
Sorry.
I'm taking the stabilizers off your bicycle now. I'm going to let you bicycle by yourself. So let me just give you some guidance. What kind of sentence is this first? Is this a nominalized verb plus an adjective, or is it a nominalized verb equals a noun?
I don't see an adjective, so I would have assumed it was the second one.
Right, yeah, so it's noun equals noun, isn't it? Or NV. Yeah, okay, good. So we need to nominalize something in this first. What are we going to nominalize?
The passing of the exam.
Right.
Gokaku suru.
Right. So what are you passing?
So the Chiri no Shiken, the geography exam.
Okay, Chiri no Shiken. And now turn it into make the whole to pass a geography exam.
Chiri no Shiken o gokaku suru.
Gokaku suru. And now normalize it.
Then the koto.
Good.
Desu.
No, we haven't finished yet. We now need to say is my target.
So then we have the watashi no mokyo.
Yep.
And it is desu.
Yes, good. Right, now we've got it. There we have it. Well done. Good. Okay, also, Russia.
Got no winter in there.
Don't we need anything like ga or wa? Koto.
Sorry, koto. Sorry, yes, we do. And we also need winter in there as well. So I originally had that in there, Jock, but I deleted it. Kono fuyu ni Chiri no shiken o goka suru koto wa watashi no mokyo desu. Right, so what is this here, Tom?
Then I think it's wa.
Koto wa.
There's no adjective, so.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, now this isn't a problem of whether or not this is this adjective or that adjective, because it's not an adjective. It's just
a topic marker.
Yeah, exactly this. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Kim, studying kanji is difficult when you're tired, or studying kanji is difficult when you're not tired.
Yes. To be tired, I found tsukareru.
Good. So that's the present tense. If you are tired, this can go into the past tense. So tsukareru means to become tired, but this is saying when you have become tired, isn't it? If you are now tired, you have already fatigued yourself. So this would be, tsukareru would become.
No idea.
What's the past tense of tsukareru?
Tsukarerimashita.
In plain form? It's group 2.
Kareta. But I was thinking of using the ba condition.
Okay.
And then with
this isn't saying if you are tired, it's saying when you are tired. So you've got a choice. You can either use when, which is
toki,
or you can use tara conditional to say when this has occurred, when this has been completed.
Tsukaretara.
Yep.
Tsukaretara. Kanji o benkyou suru no muzukashii no wa. Sorry.
Yeah.
No wa.
Just forget the particle. No wa.
No wa. Muzukashii desu.
Very good. Muzukashii desu. Excellent. Well done. Kelly, my job is repairing computers.
仕事は、パソコンを直すことです。
Very good. 直すことです。Perfect. Well done. Martin, repairing computers is not very interesting, but I have to do it.
I have a Mac, so I don't. So repairing computers is That is also true. Shigoto. No, it's not shigoto, is it?
No.
Pasukon or naosu?
Good. Pasukon or naosu.
Well, that was really easy because I stole it from the line above.
This is the trick. This is the trick.
Yeah. Searching my notes. Huh. Mumoshiru? That doesn't sound right.
No. You just do the negative of omoshiroi. But the test is which nominalizer to use, and then whether to use wa or ga.
Well, repairing computers is a verb, and interesting is an adjective.
Good.
So I'm going to go for no.
No, perfect.
Almost.
What's the particle first, though, Martin? Wa or ga?
Wa.
Wa. Good.
Omoshirokakunai.
Not quite. Nearly. Omoshiro.
Not kunai?
You did. It is kunai, but you said you threw in an extra ka in there. Omoshiro kakunai. It's just omoshiro kunai.
Omoshiro kunai. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. It is.
I've forgotten how you say but in Japanese.
Ga. But we need a it is first, though, before the ga.
Okay.
What's it is?
Yes.
Yes. And then ga.
Yeah.
But I have to do it. I have to do it.
Shinakareba narimasen?
Shinakareba narimasen.
Shinakareba narimasen.
Yeah, shinakareba narimasen. Good. Okay, and Joel, I have not. Joel, this is actually a bonus one. It's only a kind of warm up. I've not been to Cambodia.
Cambodia ni.
Cambodia ni.
Iku koto ga arimasen.
Not iku. It's in the past.
Itta koto ga arimasen.
Itta koto ga arimasen. Good. That was just your warm-up exercise. Your actual one is going to Cambodia is very difficult in the autumn.
Aki ni.
Aki ni.
Cambodia ni iku no ga no wa.
Good.
本当に難しいです。
Excellent. Good. Ooh, good. Okay. Making Thai food with friends is extremely enjoyable. I just want to point out this doesn't mean making Thai food out of your friends is enjoyable, although I imagine it probably is if you can stop them from screaming when you're chopping them up into pieces.
Thai ryori. Or making it was sukuro.
Good. Sukuro.
Sukuro. Sukuro no tomodachi to sorry.
I need a particle.
I mean, there is something that is missing. Wa?
Good.
Tomodachi to ishoni.
Okay, so
no.
I mean, no. This is all right. This is the words are correct, but really, the thing that you're saying is enjoyable is this making Thai food with friends. So really, the tomodachi to ishoni should go here. Really, to ishoni Thai ryori o tsukuru no wa, because what you're trying to do is actually nominalize all of this. It's not just making Thai food, which is enjoyable, it's making Thai food with friends. Yeah.
How is extremely?
非常に
楽しいです。
Perfect. Good. 楽しいです. If you did go down that route that you were doing before, Aga, by saying タイ料理を作るのは友達と一緒に楽しいです. I mean, it does make sense. The sentence isn't grammatically incorrect, but it sounds like you're jumping from one subject to another, like saying, making Thai food is very enjoyable with friends. See, in English, it doesn't sound so bad, but in Japanese, it kind of feels like you're jumping around in the sentence, but really it should be grouped like this, just to sound fluid, not that it's grammatically incorrect or anything. Okay. How many more to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. David, assembling furniture feels good in a new house.
Okay. What's furniture?
It's here.
Kagu.
Kagu?
Yeah, kagu.
Oh, thank heavens. Why do I remember that? Atarashi ie.
That's it. Yes, atarashi ie. Oops, ie. Yeah.
There.
Good.
Yeah. Inside of your house. Kagu o kumitateru no wa
Good.
kimochi desu.
Very good. Kimochi desu. Kimochi desu. It's like eating Korean pickles. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Kimochi, or as you said, kimochi. In fact, if you're writing it, you should say kimochi ga ii desu. Yeah. Cool. Jock, walking in good weather in the mountains feels so good.
Ii tenki de.
Good.
Yama ni sanpo suru koto.
So this is good, but if you're going to put a verb here, then we need not yama ni, but yama.
Oh.
Yama. Yeah. You do make things awkward for me. I was thinking yamade. Sanpo
suru koto. Suru koto ga.
We're speaking this though rather than writing it.
What?
Yeah, but not koto, but koto would be used for saying a noun is a noun, or if we're writing, a noun is an adjective if we're describing a noun. But we're speaking it, so we not koto, but no.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
No ga.
No. What was that? A
Kimochi.
what? Sorry, I'm being pedantic. Is that what or a ga?
No ga.
Sorry, it's just like,
no.
I'm not sure if you're saying nga or wa or being non-committal about it.
Well, non-committal, somewhere in the middle.
It's wa.
Kimochi desu.
Yes, good. Yeah. Kimochi desu.
Yamade sanpo suru.
Actually, either is fine. Yama or sanpo suru is also fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah. I do the same thing about if you're not sure about whether it's A or B, go for the average. In fact, in everything I do, I'm pretty much like this.
It served me well so far.
Exactly. Yeah. Did you say ga? No, I said what? Bukash, I hate cleaning my room.
Hey,
Yep.
And clean would be.
Who can help? I think.
Soji suru.
Soji suru. Yeah.
Heya o soji suru no ga
Very good.
kirei desu.
Kirai.
Kirai desu. Kirai
Yeah,
desu.
kirai is pretty. Kirai is acceptable. So important not to say to your wife when she wears her new dress to say, kirai desu.
She won't get it anyway.
Okay, Tom, Martin is very good at playing guitar. Is that true, Martin?
So it's with noun and adjective.
Good. Yeah.
Playing the guitar is guitar ohiko.
Very good. Yes.
Martin-san ga.
Good.
Guitar ohiku.
Guitar o hiku.
No wa kimochi desu. I know it feels good. No, it's good. It's no ga jozu desu. Jozu desu.
Yes, good.
Look at jozu desu.
Yes. Yeah.
Feels good playing guitar.
Tom, just a reminder, can you not talk so loud, because you probably have to whisper with the gain on your earphone, on your headphones is really loud.
Oh,
so
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Just remember to whisper.
Okay.
You see, when you get excited, everybody goes like this.
Oh. Sounds like real life.
No, I've met you in real life. And then finally, Kim. Marianne is not very skilled at using scissors.
Ooh.
He cuts my hair, as you can see.
Marianne-san, skillful, is that the same like Jozu?
Yep.
Yeah. Ga, so Marianne-san ga.
Yeah.
Skao.
Nani o tsukau?
Hasami.
Very good. Well remembered. Hasami o tsukau.
I had to look it up. Sorry.
That's okay. That's also part of the learning.
I was trying to use the first exercise, the used scissors. But that's not at using. No. No ga.
Good.
Not very Jozu.
Please don't say Jozu kunai desu.
No. Jozu dewa arimasen.
Perfect. Exactly this. Dewa arimasen. Exactly this.
And the very, how would you?
So you'd be tempted to think that you could write something like totemo, but if you've got a negative here, you shouldn't really use totemo. You should use. Somebody know it?
Amari.
Amari. Good. Amari. Jozu dewa arimasen. Yeah. Okay, good. We did it in less than half an hour. Well done.
Ooh.
Excellent. Any questions, guys? Well done. This is actually a quite hard part of Japanese grammar to even kind of think about what the hell is nominalization of a verb. But yeah, it's not too bad if you just got to get hold of the rules and just make sure the rules are followed. Then it's pretty easy. Okay.
So, when you have like for example, kimochi ga ii desu, when that's written down, you have to write ga.
Yes.
Is that because if you write it without the ga, it looks like another word? Or
No. It's just that grammatically correct is the feeling is good. Kimochi ga ii desu. But it's just in spoken Japanese, this has become condensed into just kimochi desu. Yeah.
Oh, so just like apostrophe is another language.
So that apostrophe is just separating kimochi, feeling, and e, and when it's spoken, you don't say kimochi ii desu. It comes out as one continuous word. Kimochi desu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody okay? Any problems? All is good. All is clear. Enjoy your evening, guys. If I don't see you before, have a nice Christmas. I should be back for more lessons later on in the week. But Jock, go ahead. I need Jock, you muted. Rather, I muted you. Jock, stop talking. You're muted.
Okay. I just said David ought to watch more Japanese porn for kimochi.
Oh, kimochi. There's yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the go-to word for expressing pleasure. Kimochi.
But Jock, that new self-portrait you put up on Facebook, the word bukake instantly came to mind.
Oh, please, I'm recording this.
I'll send you a census beep later.
Cheers, guys. Have a nice evening.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, Łukasz,
Some
before you go,
Hi.
if you want to do like an hour of doing how to make Teflon again as a reminder, just give us a shout.
It's not what I'm saying. It's saying that's like when I'm into this class and I'm kind of following what you're saying, I can grammatically maybe make up what we actually doing here. But if you pick me and then move to Japan and start talking, I would probably be having problems with making up what's the te form from any verb of 3 those verbs that I know. You see, that's the big deal here. It's not like these classes are wrongly constructed or this is a brilliant thing, to be honest. But this is so difficult to
but if you
not
want to
even memorize, but to use what I even.
That's why I said it. That's why I said an hour, because it won't take more than 5 minutes to explain it. But if you want to do an hour of just supervised practice, and we can just go through lots and lots of verbs and put them into sentence, just say we can do an hour.
Yeah, on Friday evening.
I will join.
Yeah, sure, okay.
But not on Friday.
Not on Friday.
I can't on Friday.
Oh,
Friday
joining
is-
as well.
We have party.
Okay, so guys, just post on the Facebook group and say these are the times I would like to do an hour of te practice, and then if we get 3 or 4 people together, then great, we'll do it.
After the weekend, anytime.
Yeah, sure. Next week is also fine.
You're amazing.
Just post it on Facebook. We'll do it. It'll be fun. In a way. Yeah. Right. Bonsoir.
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 Arigato.
Jenny.
ありがとうございました。じゃあね
ありがとうございました。じゃあね。Oops.